Welcome to another episode of Rocketman TV. My name's Dan Schlun, and I'm the Rocketman. In this episode, we go to London for a flight in Trafalgar Square. The producers of the Halo video game contacted us and wanted us to do a flight as their Master Chief. This was a photo session to launch their new game where the Master Chief flies with the jetpack. I'm sure many of you have played this game. Ironically, I have yet to play it, although it's been several years. So here's a little behind the scenes footage.
We'll try and see if it feels binding.
You know, every time we do a rocket belt flight as it is, it's always a little challenging because you always have some kind of obstacle. In this case, we've got a full-on Halo costume, which makes it a little bit more difficult, a little bit more technical. But the costume came together great, so it should fly wonderful. We just have to do a few finishing touches on the most important stuff like gloves and make sure I can actually turn the controls when I need to.
Yell at me. Just stand. Tell you what.
The normal Halo costumes that they're using are constructed of thick rubber and they weigh roughly 50 pounds. But that won't work for our purposes, so their costume department had to create a costume from scratch that only weighed about 5 to 8 pounds. And then we still had to be sure that none of the pieces came loose or interfered with the controls during flight. There's two kinds of flights. One's where we travel long distances, as you saw in the Star Wars episode, and this one where we want to stay within a close proximity to the other Halo actors to get their ideal photo op. I love costume flights. They're so much fun. But what made this flight special is that I had a radio personality friend of mine in town from the radio show Into Tomorrow with Dave Graveline. I've been listening to Dave for years. They have a syndicated and a podcast show discussing current tech news, answering listeners' questions, and what's in store for technology going into tomorrow. There will be a link below so that you can check them out. Very entertaining and informative show I thought I would share with you. Coming up next is a short flight, but it looks spectacular. That beautiful costume, Big Ben in the background. But before we do, if you like this video and would like to see more videos like this, click subscribe and never miss an episode of Rocketman TV. Sometimes the slower flights are more difficult than the faster ones, especially with a big bulky costume on. You get a little bit of the pendulum effect when you travel slow, as you could see throughout my flight. And then trying to look down with the limited visibility of that helmet, that made it difficult for me to sense my landing, and I was just a few feet off and had to bounce back into place. But as you can tell, nobody cared. So, that does it for this episode of Rocketman TV. Remember to follow along as we get this jetpack up and flying again. I'm still losing weight. I'm down 15 pounds. We're close to closing on an industrial unit to work on the jetpack. And we're still moving forward to procure rocket propellant. So be sure to subscribe and follow along on my journey. Until next time, Be safe, and God bless.